I am pro-choice for women. And I worked with Liz Winstead's group, Abortion Access Force.
Love Liz.
Yeah. Did you have a moment in the documentary, actually? Did you ever do any of the
No.
tour? Okay. But I was trying to think, because I saw so many comics pop.
Why didn't you didn't ask me?
I just knew.
Welcome to Almost Alpha podcast. Today we got Nico Santos and Beth Stelling, two great comedians and great people. That's a rare combination.
Yeah, it is.
We try.
It is, yeah.
What do you think the percentages of kind and very talented are in the comedy community?
Okay, but...
I think it's just Beth and I.
Yeah, it's just us two.
Nobody else.
That's a good
What
point.
about me?
Okay, you can be in.
Sure.
I support the Navy.
You know what? Support our troops.
That's the only way you get applause breaks.
Yeah.
Who supports... I didn't mean it like that. You're funny too.
I do that if I'm bombing on stage. I go, let's give it up for the troops.
Yeah.
And then they have to.
And I say that, and I'm pregnant. And I just got married because of that.
I'm like, I'm gay. LGBT rights.
Do you ever use your applause break too soon?
I use it to leave immediately. Yeah.
Interesting.
I go away and I hide.
When I go to Canada, I brag that my cousin's wife's father was a goalie for the Calgary Flames NHL hockey team.
Ooh.
And I got cocky last time I was in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I brought it up right when I got on stage. I'm like, not kidding. I was like, I should have saved this for later.
Save that. You needed that.
What's an applause break?
It's
Pandering.
pandering.
Oh, I knew this would happen. I'm getting a little hot because I'm currently still wearing my raincoat. So there's going to be a bit of a sexy moment happening here in a little bit.
It does.
It
yeah,
pops.
It does pop.
Are
you wearing a jumpsuit?
Yeah.
That's very cute.
But if you take
I
this,
did it because I was like, oh, I don't know what to wear. And you just put one thing on.
but if you take this off, it looks like you did dress the same on purpose.
Okay.
It's yeah.
You look sharp. This is like.
I texted Taylor. I was like, "Is this gonna be in video? Because I just want to come in dressed as an unhoused schizophrenic."
Do you know who else? asked
I
the
asked
same
the same thing.
5 minutes before we start.
I feel like these are the times I want to. I don't know. I wish I were. It's true.
I don't want to get dressed up for a podcast.
I don't want to get dressed up ever.
Oh wow.
I'm sweats. I just ordered fancy sweats for my next tour.
Oh.
I've reached that.
From where?
Where did I find some? Well, I found on Bloomingdale's. I got a gift card for my birthday.
Okay. Fancy.
And
Happy birthday.
Thank you. No. I'm sorry. I meant Christmas. I don't know why I said that.
You were born on Christmas?
No, it was a Christmas gift card.
Are you Jesus Christ? This
Yeah,
would be good for the
I am.
podcast.
Betty wants you back, and and
this is good. This is good. A good exercise for
he's
her.
right there.
Betty.
I love you. Don't get embarrassed.
Speaking of wardrobe,
we're in the
wait.
process of getting a puppy. So.
You are?
Yeah, finally.
And what do you mean? Like you're looking?
We are looking. We were looking at this one rescue, but then my husband decided he couldn't wait anymore. So,
were you buying your dog from?
I forget
Nico's canceled.
I'm canceled. We're buying a dog instead of getting a rescue. What is the rescue? I don't know. I don't know the name of the
You could
breeder.
steal Betty.
Yeah.
What kind of dog are you gonna get?
Bernedoodle.
Oh, that's great.
A Bernedoodle.
Yeah, do you know what that is?
I'm thinking like a Bernese Mountain Dog and a Golden Doodle or something, or
And a poodle. They're so cute.
That's amazing.
So much.
Because it's gonna be big and curly. Should I not have let her go? I released her into the
Give me
wild.
back my dog.
I thought she would go straight to you.
Listen, she's a wild animal, and thank you, producer Josh.
Sorry about that.
Can we?
I really thought she was gonna go straight to you, and that's kind of like worrisome.
You think she hates me now? You know what it is? She's a young lady. She feels free.
Yeah.
She feels like she can do what it's a big deal for our relationship. She's attached to
Enjoy
me.
it while you can, because this country's going to hell. So
It's true.
No, this episode's coming. We're gonna hold this episode for when the country's back.
it's actually like
when things are better.
when we get to like Civil War starring Kristen Dunst.
So when I watch it, I'll be like, God, I looked so young.
That was only 3 days ago.
Do you know that my T-shirt says Nico Santos on the back?
You're kidding. Show off your...
He's wearing a Punchline shirt.
But it has both of our names on it.
That's pretty
Does it
cool.
really?
Can
Tell
I see
me-
the front first?
Yeah, the front says Punchline San Francisco. It's from 2000.
Sacramento.
Oh, is this a Sacramento? It's from
And San
Francisco.
it's from 2006.
2006.
Tell me if there's anyone canceled on the back of it.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Okay. Oh, there's so many
I'm
people. Show us
blind.
your punchline. Oh, I'm seeing Chappelle. I'm seeing...
Nico Santos?
Yep. Tony
Is this
Woods.
alphabetical?
Interesting for me to find Tony Woods and Chappelle in the same... You know, people always say that Tony was the original. Shang Wang. I'm trying to see. There's definitely people who have quit. I see Morgan Murphy. I see Patrice O'Neill, Gary Owen, Kirk Pappas, Lang Parker.
Kirk Pappas.
Have I found a woman yet?
Is Allie not in that? Allie should be in there.
Allie's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick Thune. Chris Tinkle.
Chris Tinkle.
Do you know that person?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
SF comic.
All right, I'm getting uncomfortable. I'm gonna
I
stop.
think I saw Natasha Omishna. Ali Wong.
There you go.
Wow, that was really hard to find a woman.
Was there only one woman on the whole thing?
I think I also saw Melinda Hill.
And Morgan Murphy's a woman.
Oh, and Morgan Murphy.
This is 3 out of 200. What's your problem?
You're right. I'm sorry.
And some of the other people might be women now.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully.
Well, maybe they were the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Transphobia.
Oh no! How do I fix this?
You can't.
You can't.
You actually
Yeah.
can't.
Can I tell you something?
No takebacks.
I have a friend who I've known for a long time.
Are you just gonna say some of my best friends
Something
are
worse.
trans?
No, but I think this is related. I think you can get where I'm coming from.
Okay, I have one after this.
We're all okay. Thank you. We're all allies,
Okay.
right?
Well,
I'm not an ally. I'm actually in the alphabet.
you're in the.
And you sign up for
acronym.
all the letters.
Sure, why not?
Good.
Yeah.
Great. I do.
It's an acronym, right? Yeah. I had a moment there where I was like, wait a minute. No, yeah.
Can I tell you? I wish I was like a bad person because can I tell you what I would say if I was a bad person?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Like LGBTQIA plus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the A stands for?
Asexual.
Or ally. Look it up. I'm just saying, if I was like that smartass who wants to get away with saying homophobic things and all these things, I could be like, I could say it because I'm LGBTQIA plus.
But you're not an ally if you're saying homophobic things.
Wait, I never thought of it like that.
doesn't work
There's a
the same.
flaw in your thinking.
Wait, I'm gonna double down on this. Can you confirm that I'm correct, please?
I didn't watch the Chappelle special, but I thought you were about to do his bit. Did you watch the one that people found offensive?
I refuse to watch him anymore.
I didn't watch it either, but I know people were upset about it, but I never. It's tough for me. I don't watch it.
Listen. I mean, if that's the hill he wants to fucking die on,
Yeah,
it's just like I'm also like you fucked a trans woman, and you're like you don't want people to find out. That's why you can't fucking stop talking about it.
It was in the realm of don't protest too much.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've come to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
Am I correct on the ally word?
It's not clear yet.
But has anyone ever agreed? You're doing the hard research.
There. What does it mean?
Don't you understand how to Google? You Google with
The A stands for aromantic, asexual, or agender.
I saw another. Do you not know how to Google in 2025 using confirmation bias? You're supposed to search the sentence that you believe to be true and find some random website that agrees with you.
This is like Breitbart only.
Can you look one more time, please, and say that? Can you ask AI if
Ask
is
AI.
that wait LGBTQAI?
I want to say that I've proudly not used AI, but of course I have in the sense that I've accidentally done it, and they're probably living in my head right now in my brain, and there's a chip. But I don't purposely ever use AI. Again, I know that sounds ignorant because I have a phone in my hand and I've pressed agree to thousands of words.
Right.
I used ChatGPT to write my wedding vows.
Stop.
I really did. You know, my husband is such an incredible writer, like a really, really thoughtful writer. And I I knew what I wanted to say, but, I waited to the last minute and I was like trying to figure out how to all, put it together.
Yeah.
And
It sounds like a comic. Like I waited till the last minute.
The first couple of prompts I put in, it came out vaguely racist.
Oh,
So
no.
I was like, let's prompt you again. So after 15 times, it finally put out something. I was like, I can use something like that, and just sort of pieced it together and reworded some shit.
Some people use it so much they know when someone else is using it. Like, I forget where I was. It might have been the woman that I get a facial from. She was telling me at her daughter's school, right away she knew the principal was using AI, or Chat GPT for his speech, because I guess she's used it enough for like she does a podcast on esthetician stuff, and she's used it for her descriptions, like on the podcast. So she said, "I know," or she just said she recognized it.
Wow.
I was like, "Oh man, it's the new like plagiarism."
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been plagiarism, I guess, but
Can we agree though that LGBTQ AI should
exist?
Like, why don't we brand as an ally?
It's like Yas GPT.
are you really wanting to go back to that right now?
Yeah, Taylor, it looks like you're wrong here.
Am I
take it away.
incorrect?
Using AI.
Am I
unfortunately.
incorrect that A does not stand for ally?
You're incorrect.
You are incorrect.
I read it once somewhere.
I'm going to help you one more time. So I've done shows with comics twice now who have done AI jokes. I'm sorry, again, I sound so old.
AI
Chat GPT jokes.
Really?
Yes, twice now.
Jokes that they used
That they talked, basically, well, you know, just being in LA and you're doing your spots, it's like, I've seen twice now. Because I get, like, is kind of what a lot of us are supposed to do, like comments on the zeitgeist and what people are doing. But yeah, one I found to be successful at it, and one I didn't care for.
And are they ironically doing it, or are they?
One of them opened their set by saying, like, I've just been messing around with it and saying, what's a good way to open your set? And it was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's just like kind of a one-liner in its own way.
Right.
Like it's basically saying, this is what it gave me, and that's how funny it is that
Oh,
it would think that was
right.
funny.
Yeah.
But so that was successful. And then another one I think was using almost like the Siri voice or something. I forget, but it was unsuccessful. It
But
was
they
like he had a
were-
conversation with it on stage.
Oh, okay. So they both acknowledged that we're using.
Yes.
Check.
Yeah. It wasn't like a cheat thing.
Yeah.
They were saying like,
No, I really wrote this. Knock knock.
yeah.
I remember when we were kids, like we're about the same age, I think. Like in high school,
I had
in
a
our-
moment where she moved her ears and she's like a similar color to your pants. I was like, are you getting hard right now? Her ear was like, sorry.
Bethany, are you Bethany or Beth?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Elisabeth. Okay, anyway.
She's a Betty.
Yeah.
Are you? You have the same name.
My family calls me Bessie because I'm spelled with an S.
Oh, we'll move on from you making whatever. That was vulgarity.
Hey, look, I stepped in the ring to get canceled. I love it when everybody's like, I'm gonna get canceled. Anytime they do something, like I feel like the early days of Me Too when I was doing radio, when you still had to do radio, and some markets still have you do radio on the road.
Yeah.
But when I came, I remember early Me Too, and I've known the guy for years because I've been going. I was like, hey, what's up? And I go to give him a hug, and he's like, oh no, are we allowed to do that anymore? I'm not kidding because I was so sick of dealing with that stuff. I go, as long as you don't rape me, yeah. You want to put a halt, like a screeching halt to our interaction? I can do that as well.
Yeah.
I'll whip out the R word.
Have you been canceled before, Nico?
Somebody did try to back when I was in Twitter. I mean,
I've
listen,
had that as well.
like some of my jokes from 15 years ago did not age well.
Yeah.
But I love the joke, but you just can't tell it now.
What's the joke?
Oh no.
I mean, like, I still tell it sometimes. I feel the audience, but like my awkward ending joke. I don't know if you know that joke. It's about a guy going to a massage person and instead of getting a happy ending, it's an awkward ending. I do a whole act out with an accent and everything. I think it's really fucking funny.
Right.
I love that joke, but certain audiences,
They pull back. They're uncomfortable.
Who is it offensive to?
people.
Like, since, like,
Interesting. I guess I could see, of course, if you were sitting here as a white person, but
I mean, it's like sometimes it's like, white people is like, you shouldn't talk about that about your own community, or sometimes
Okay.
Asians are like, you shouldn't,
I'm Jewish,
Interesting.
and I've had Jewish people be offended by me making a very light on a show where I'm making fun of.
right.
This is years ago, but I in my head I was like, well, I'm making silly jokes about these other people. I have to make fun of myself too. That's where I felt responsibility. So I make a silly Jewish people are stingy with money joke. 4 times on this tour, I had Jewish people come up to me. One person sent me an email saying, I can't believe on the anniversary of Kristallnacht, which is the night of
no,
broken
I
glass
know,
in the
yeah.
Holocaust. You're very educated. Look at you performing at JCCs. Look at you.
I'm a Jewish ally.
Look, can you look up
Yeah.
Jewish ally? And see,
I've fallen in love with Jews,
Yeah.
and I have friends that are Jews, and I've enjoyed many a celebration. And
okay, you're overdoing it kind of Chappelle style right now,
Oh,
honestly.
okay.
Like, thou doth not protest? What does that mean? mean?
I
The
love
lady-
a satyr.
yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
But I got accused of like, are you? Because my name's Taylor Williamson. People go, they think I'm pretending to be Jewish. Yeah, people like to laugh on behalf of other people, but when it becomes themselves, then they get mad at you.
What happened to me was,
There's a
remember
lot of
that
commentary going
guy who
In general.
got fired by SNL before he got
Oh,
yeah.
Shane?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when that whole
going
news
on?
broke out, it was like the height of Crazy Rich Asians. So
Oh, yes.
and I really was like, I did a knee jerk tweet back, and I was just like, this fucking piece of shit. I can't believe you fucking said that. And then all these people like started digging up my old tweets, and they're like, you had all these things about how you're saying that like you like to talk like a black girl. I'm like, yeah, from literally 30 years ago.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I know now that is fucking dumb. Or like,
Right.
you said the T word. You're super transphobic. I'm like, my husband is trans. So, no, again, I said that 20 years ago, back when
Sure.
everybody was saying.
Yes, and I similarly, I've had it was like an old joke. Yeah, similarly, an old joke. And I also say the T word.
Yeah.
And I actually stumble and I say like what it's pure ignorance. I'm not using it. It sounds like I'm making excuses, but I agree with you. It was a long time ago. Technically, it was before you knew that was even a slur. And then also, I'm not using it as a punchline. I was trying to just say, it was basically a misguided joke on the pink tax. Is what it was. But I agree. It was one of those things where I was like, yeah, I don't tell it anymore. And I think too, this is something that's important when we like, because a lot of people want to ask us about this stuff, like cancel culture and what do you do when and who should pay and what. And it's like, was the joke hateful? Are you a hateful person? What was your intention essentially?
Yeah.
And do you continue to be hateful? Because like I've never written something. I mean, of course, I've written therapeutic things on my experience.
Yes.
Where it's based in anger or frustration. So yes, I've definitely come from places of writing in that way. But were you writing to hurt someone or a group of people?
Well, people don't have critical thinking skills anymore. It's a problem. You know, you just listen to the joke and like, you know, yeah, exactly. My intent was not to be like, N-word, N-word, N-word. You know, it's just like, what? Look at the entire piece of material.
Yes, I know. We've gotten very serious here.
I love this.
But the idea, of course, is we don't live in a culture of accountability. And so it's not encouraged. It's to deny, and I didn't do anything, and I'm not in trouble. And I was like that as a kid so often. If I was like acting up in class, it's like, well, he did it.
Yeah.
You know? So essentially, even by us being like, yeah, I said something a long time ago, I regret it at the time. It wasn't meant to be hateful. It's like, that it should be encouraged. I mean, like it should, to be honest with you, even when the Louis stuff was going on, there were so many straight white dudes in my feed that I know that I've done comedy with forever that were like, you never did this, screw you all, like truly. And then the night before he was like, I did it. And I was like, oh, I'm screenshotting all you motherfuckers. Not to cancel them, to remember like, why are you standing up for a guy you don't know and you don't know he didn't do it? And so anyway, as much as Louis has gone on to re-offend many times or hasn't essentially stopped, it was important for him to admit it.
Yeah.
It's huge. I hate that we have to applaud people for being like, thank you for admitting you sexually assaulted that person. Because nobody wants to. And essentially you can't blame them because we genuinely live in a culture that doesn't encourage accountability. There's this book called Sand Talk by Tyson Yunkaporta, who's the Australian Aboriginal man. And essentially he's talking about this. Like, this is probably where I learned a lot of it, which is like our culture does encourage it. If you do something wrong, you admit it. We basically say thank you. If it's the first time or something, you're welcomed back. If it's repeat times or something, you go away and serve your whatever the punishment is, and then we welcome you back to our community.
Yeah.
Like that is I'm summarizing, but that's the general vibe.
Yeah.
And it's like, wouldn't that be healthy?
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, I'm a human. I messed up. I'm going to go do X, Y, or Z to learn more or to figure it out. And then we welcome you back. I mean, it's similar to obviously the prison system. People can't find their way back because they can't get a freaking job.
But this is, on this note, this is why our next guest is Mel Gibson. Because, you know, he really...
Welcome, Mel.
Yeah.
He really apologized.
I watched Gladiator 2 yesterday, and it tried to encourage me to watch Braveheart next.
No.
How do you go from Mel Gibson to Gladiator to Braveheart? Oh, because it's like weird.
I don't know.
Stuff.
I just watched Gladiator 2. And
you also get Russell Crowe and Mel Gibson confused?
I don't.
Oh.
but I could see why that would happen.
Is that racist, by
Like,
the way?
oh, look safe.
I don't think so.
Oh, look safe.
Can I tell you, I went to Nebraska, and it was the first time I understood that all white people look the same also. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Were you walking around and you're being a lot? I mean, being a comic after almost 20 years, you're like, I can't remember everybody.
No.
And I can't remember everybody's face. I would like to.
Convinced I have that face blindness thing.
I think
Brad
we've
Pitt has that.
I think we've reached saturation though of memory.
Because I mean, like last month, I was like, I ran into somebody that I was fairly close to. I've known for like 20 years, and I completely blanked on their name. I was just like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah.
But also our phones are destroying our brains. Like I think about it, like it's tough to remember life before these.
Do you have your mom's number memorized? Because I
Yes.
don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I just memorized my husband's phone number.
Oh, good.
Just.
That's good. I don't have my boyfriend's memorized.
In case you go to jail and you get one phone call.
Or whatever, apocalypse.
Or like,
payphone.
my phone dies and I can't access my
Okay.
contacts,
Yeah.
That's smart.
I carved my boyfriend.
Drug deal gone bad and I gotta ask for backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Did you really do that?
Yeah, I carved it into my skin.
Can I say one thing I love about the people who want to cancel people or tear people down, whatever? What's so funny to me is that, because I've gone through, for a hobby, I have a friend over, I'm like, can I go through your old tweets and try to cancel you? And like look out for them, like, hey, it's kind of fun, you know? But in order to look, so when someone gets on SNL or they get the big things, people are jealous. And then they go through and they look through the tweets from the last 20 years to try to find things. But in order to find those things, you have to type in the racial slur that you're against them for.
Yeah.
So I think the people who cancel people should get canceled.
Yeah.
Because they typed in the word that day. It wasn't 15 years ago.
Why are you typing that word in?
Yeah, so you're proving that you typed the word in. Mm-hmm. Are you going to tell me you scrolled for 15 years?
What if you get in trouble for what you type soon?
In this administration, I think you'll be rewarded. Like you get
Yeah, that's true. I will say, the one thing I thought of when you guys were talking to relate to you was I'm very, I definitely care about and am pro-choice for women. And I worked with Liz Winstead's group, Abortion Access Force.
Love Liz.
Yeah. Did you have a moment in the documentary, actually? Did you ever do any of the
No.
tour? Okay. But I was trying to think, because I saw so many comics pop.
Why didn't you didn't ask me?
I just knew.
This guy hates
No, because
abortion.
so many comics popped up in that, and I was like trying to, and I actually did the tour once, a couple cities maybe, and anyway, going down memory lane. But point being, we did one fundraiser, like I think it was in Portland at Alberta Rose Theater, and that's where my abortion joke fell flat. It was just interesting because it was one that worked a lot. And then it didn't work.
They're like,
so you're like, sometimes when you do the event or the exact thing, it's like, well.
But it's because you go to a different Alberta, Canada.
No. It was Portland, but Alberta Rose Theater. I just happen to remember the
Portland
theater.
I'm from Portland, so Portland gets offended by a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I forget where we're going with that. Oh, typing it in.
Okay, you're a big. Who are you not an ally for? You're an ally for all these things. Who do you not align
I'm pretty
with?
against the KKK.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really
Nazis.
I'm against
I think
Nazis.
You're not an ally with Nazis.
themselves.
I'm against men's rights activists.
Okay.
I'm against Proud Boys.
Yeah.
You're this
Against like straight pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the day after that the administration came in, I remember sharing something that was like, hey, you're not going to be able to access information on the abortion pill. So many people are uneducated on that. Like many women, many men. I've worn a shirt, I forget which one used to cause issue. Pro-choice AF or dang, it was one. Oh, Abortion Yacht Club. Okay. I have a shirt that says that. And essentially the meaning when I talked to Liz about it, because she's the one that made it, it was like, because you should talk about it everywhere. Like all classes of people benefit from abortion, all genders, all races. It's like, it's not just, fancy people on a yacht. Anyway, I was with a friend in Hawaii and a guy stopped me like, oh, and he's like, wait, what's that? And he's like, oh, because like, I was like, well, what are you picturing? He's like, you on a yacht, like getting surgery? And I was like, I said, I hear you. I was like, but abortion is often missing a period and taking 2 pills, Mifa and Miso, the shorthand for them, and then you have a period. He was like, really? I was like, that's abortion. Often for a lot of people is missing a period and taking pills. It's not like fun, and nobody. And then the other misconception is people use it as birth control. It's like nobody wants to be doing that, you know.
I've never done that.
You know,
I agree.
Anyway, but after I shared the abortion pill info, I lost about 1,000 followers, which I don't know. Like, you know, I'd like to say that I don't care, I don't keep track, but you're like, you know, you see your number when you go to your thing and post stuff. So I was like, I noticed right away. I was like, either people did jump ship, or what I think other people are experiencing, the reason I shared it is they were muting and blocking accounts and stuff. So I was like, is it, what am I saying, reactionary or a punishment to me? Or are people showing? Or I don't know.
I'm just really confused because that's happened to me before, where I lose a bunch of followers, or I'll get like angry DMs, and because I've said something, you know, political, or you know, something, you know, I'm very liberal, and progressive, but yeah, I mean, and they'll be mad. I'm just like, why are you following me?
Yeah,
I am a queer
what was the surprise?
immigrant married to a trans.
Sure.
Like, do you not think that I'm Caitlyn? You know, my husband is not Caitlyn Jenner. You know, like that type of person.
Right.
We're pretty.
I was actually thinking about Caitlyn Jenner yesterday
Because of the lady from.
Well, I didn't know about this. Tell
Emilia
me.
Perez.
No.
You know, the lead actress from Emilia Perez. They dug up her tweets.
Dug up tweets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like the movie itself is garbage. Don't fucking watch it. It's so. It is bad.
This does not represent almost alphas.
Emilia Perez, if you're listening, you're fucking garbage.
Amelia, we'd love to have you on the show. Amelia, we love Selena Gomez.
No, that movie is so bad. But yeah, they dug up her tweets, and it's like
or Islamophobic.
And racist.
Anthony she talks.
I read one article on it, and that's what
a lot of stuff like that, and you know, and she was like the front runner to win the Best Actress for Oscar, and then they realized she was the Spanish Caitlyn Jenner.
Wow.
It's like, sorry.
So that I have been thinking about Caitlyn, and my reasoning was, I did Laugh Factory last night with Ruben, and for Ruby Tuesday, and somebody tagged me. I looked at my Instagram before bed, unhealthy, and
blue light. Did you use a blue light?
No.
I gotta get blue light glasses.
Okay.
It takes away the. I don't know if it does anything, but it takes away the.
My
guilt.
boyfriend and I were playing Mario Wonder, and I just checked my phone once because I got the notification. I didn't get the Instagram notification, but somebody texted me. Anyway.
I like you're like I was just looking at a screen to look.
Well,
I stopped looking at another screen.
It wasn't in bed. You know what I mean?
Screen, yeah.
You're still looking at screens, pal.
I know. I was playing
eyesight.
Nintendo, and I looked at the screen. Anyway, somebody, you know, you get a story mention. Mm-hmm. Some guy doing a freestyle rap in front of Laugh Factory last night, and my name's behind him, like on the marquee, but it cycles through everybody. So I'm like, I see me behind him. Anyway, he did a freestyle rap. It was, you know, not for me, you know. And in it, he said something about, I think the quote was something like, and Caitlyn Jenner, something transphobic. And I was like, oh, dang, what is this? But then I thought that's why I was thinking of her, because I'm like, what is going to happen with her relationship to the Republican Party?
I think she loved it.
And even and Trump, right? Haven't they?
Well, as long as she remains rich, she's not going to have a problem.
Right.
Accept her.
But is it just hiding or not seeing them, or because I thought she had rapport or some sort of, in the same way that member Chappelle was like, see, look, I have a trans friend, and then they took.
Well, no, I mean, everybody's, you know, like the trans people who are supportive of Trump are all surprised that all of a sudden these bans are happening. The Venezuelans in Florida who are like, Trump promised that all the undocumented, the immigrants who had sort of like this probationary papers were not going to get deported. Now they're all getting deported. It's like,
oh, gosh,
we feel betrayed. I'm like,
that.
you fucking idiots. Like, of course he's going to do that.
Right.
If you wanted some joy in this, some cynical joy in all of this, there's a section on Reddit called "Leopard Ate My Face."
Oh,
Leopards ate my face, and essentially it's like people being like, "Trump's gonna do this for me." Then it shows the tweet from like November 4th, and then it shows them now being like, my wife's being deported."
Oh
you know?
no!
So like it's just there's just hours of scrolling.
That's Francesca Ramsey's song. Have you heard that song?
Oh, I know. I've heard of Francesca.
Yeah, she sings that. I never thought the leopards would eat my face.
Oh yeah.
And that song went viral, and so she posts stories and videos about like people.
Oh really?
And then she sings that song.
What is that? Because I've tried to explain this to people. What does that mean? Leopards ate my face.
She explains the reference, but like I'm remembering this incorrectly, I think, but something to the effect of like you were handling leopards and that you knew were fucking dangerous, and then you got
Right.
eaten, and you're like, well, fucking.
It's like
I feel like it's somebody who like, I don't know,
that may be completely
signs
wrong.
up to swim with sharks and die.
Right.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
that's the metaphor in a way.
My favorite one of those is this lady.
Oh, here.
There you go. Lemonade Mathis. Lemonade Mathis. My favorite one is this lady who really was just like, I can't believe they canceled my food stamps and everything's gone, and then they cut to another story of her like wearing Trump White House, and she's like dancing, and she's like, Daddy's back, Daddy's back.
No,
I'm like,
that's good.
yeah, he's a deadbeat dad, is what he.
yeah.
I know. I hate it because I go. I think they've purposely done this to us, but there are times where I go, well, I believe that, right? You see the person doing it, and then you see the direct repercussion. But it is sometimes hard to believe what you see. People are trying to make viral videos. Like, I don't know. I try to remain critical when I'm looking at that stuff.
I'm just
Right.
surprised and a little angry actually that like nobody's doing anything to stop like literally what's going on.
Yeah.
As somebody who came from a country, I remember very clearly as a child the government, toppling and having to exile our dictator and all that stuff. Like I was very young, but it's a very vivid memory. I mean, everything that happened leading up to President Ferdinand Marcos being exiled and his family being exiled out of the country, like, is happening now in America. I mean, like, by the book.
Wow.
That's what's happening. And I'm just like, is nobody gonna fucking do anything? Oh, this is your first dictator? Oh, first time? Okay. Okay.
My problem is I'm trying to stay like I want to be health. Here's the thing: control the controllable, and then also pay attention to what I can do around me and what I can see around me. And a lot of it's noise and nothing's official. It's a lot of talk. Wait till it whatever. And so I want to. How do I detach in a healthy way and focus on what I can do? But then I talked to my friend who's a historian. You want to hear the bad news?
Yeah.
He says that the point of propaganda, the goal, the mission is to make you not care.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh.
It's to make you check out because you're overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's to make you go, whatever. It's fine. 1939 Germany, no
And
big
similarly,
deal.
I guess the infighting, which has
Right.
been taking place, like to our point earlier, which is like, this has been discussed, of course, by intellectuals
That's
above
us. You
us.
have your glasses on.
But the idea of like liberals, turning on each other, and the idea of like what you're saying, like, oh, I'm going to find the worst thing this person's done and hurt them. It's like, okay. But again, there's so many things to take into account, like we said earlier.
I just wonder what the tipping point is for the entire country to be really, really pissed off and do something about it. Because, I mean, that's what happened in the Philippines. Like, all of a sudden, they're like, no, we're not going to allow this to happen. People took to the streets. And then at one point, the military, like, they were literally, like, just seconds from running over nuns who have been, like, holding hand in hand, blocking their fucking view, and a lot of people. And then the military was like, yeah, we're not going to run over nuns, dude. Fuck what the dictator says. And it ended. Like, and then they raided the palace and fucking,
Wow.
So should
we need to raid the White House.
Do you remember what year that was?
It was in the 80s.
Wow.
So should we dress up like nuns and then go to the White House?
I'm over here like, to your point, the wrong people obviously invaded on January 6th. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm just like,
We need our version of January
I
6th.
know.
Truly.
but they would, but I don't know. The numbers seem
Don't bring me
as
into
if
this,
we
by the way.
could.
I
We
was
just get a knock from the Secret Service like after this.
It's
I was
true.
can I tell you
we have been discussing all of our transgressions.
I know.
Although ours are minimal and
you guys can I just say something?
This is a really funny podcast.
Can I tell you something to my viewers and
I know you're like,
listeners?
here's one time I said something bad, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I had an old joke too.
I just want to be clear, like you guys don't represent me, and like these people are racist people who they tweeted horrible things throughout their lives.
Oh no, mine wasn't
And
a tweet. Thankfully, mine just was a live out loud thing I said, and then eventually didn't.
They did live out loud things. I just want to say that I was there on January 6th, and I was pardoned. I was found to have not been guilty of anything.
Oh my God, what if we found out that you were pardoned?
I'm going to hang up a sign in my room that says live live loud.
Can I ask you guys a question? How? Beth, we'll start with you. How alpha have you been recently? Have you done anything very alpha in recent times?
Yeah.
What's an example of something really alpha you did?
What would you define alpha? Like, how would you define alpha?
I mean, did you not follow the instructions I sent to you? I sent
How
you.
about I give an example?
Alpha, but like,
I would
I
say
can tell you.
me being at a club or something like the Improv, and then being like, "Hey, this person showed up. Can they go in front of you?" And I go, "No,
Really, I struggle with this. I have trauma related.
no,
to
you
this.
can't go in front of me." And they go, "Okay, sorry," and then I don't do their show anymore.
So you're on a
If
lineup and a
A
comedian.
friend texts me,
Yeah.
"Can I switch spots with you? I have a spot here." Of course. But if your show's already a nightmare and I've showed up for my spot time,
Yeah.
people are going long, you keep putting people in front of me and I say, okay, maybe once or something. And then you go, this person showed, can they go in front of you too? I go, oh, I'll just leave.
That's major alpha. Wow.
I'm happy to do that. I'll leave and you'll pay me for the time. But it's not like you could say it's a diva thing. It's like, it's a respect thing. And also, I understand and have many times been bumped by a famous person, back in the day at Laugh Factory.
Nico.
And I actually want to bring it up now.
The reason I brought you two together, Jerry Springer.
No, back in the day at the Laugh Factory, it would be Dane or Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
And when I first got here, they would be like, oh, Dane's here, or Chris showed up. And I go, do I need to stay? And they go, no. But I don't think I got paid for those. But I would leave because they would go for like so long.
I've had a couple of those recently.
But that's like 2012 or something.
I had somebody who I don't like, who I know terrible, awful things about that people don't know about, and that some people know, but whatever. And
Say their name.
Nico Santos.
Uh-oh.
Backfired.
Backfired.
I wasn't gonna say it, bro, but then you just told me to say
No,
the name.
I did force you. Yeah.
Oh,
And I was asked, could you switch with the person? And then I ignored the text. That was my move. I'm getting ignored for 2 hours. 'Cause I'm like, I'm just gonna. That was pretty alpha of me, actually. I'm just like, I'm gonna
ignore?
wait. I'm gonna ignore.
Taylor.
I ignored the text and then I got another text saying, could you switch? And I was like, I don't want the booker to not like me. And I had no reason
If
not
it's
to.
set-
it was like
Oh,
it was like a
okay.
15-minute. It was like a 30-minute switch, but it didn't. It actually helped my life, honestly.
Okay.
But years ago at the but I didn't want to help this person who I don't like.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, who am I doing? Long game, whatever.
I've just if we're talking about that,
Yeah.
someone will say, hey, can you do the show? Great. Then they tag me in the lineup and it's with a sexual predator. I go, oh, I can't be on the show with that person. So can you take me off the poster? And then I don't show up.
The problem is like most of them are sexual predators, honestly.
Well, there's also an argument that if I don't show up, then everybody just keeps listening to this person.
Wow.
So I should show up and just do my version of,
Yeah. No,
I don't know, positive, liberal, non-predator.
But that's the
comedy.
argument too for like, should you go on like Tucker Carlson? If you, like,
That's an off for me.
I hear, but
I've never been offered Joe Rogan, but even before all of this, before he crowned the next president,
Yeah.
I was like, if he ever asked, would I do it? I was like, why would I do that? Because like, oh, well, you could reach other people. It's like, you got to get in where you fit in.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying like, I don't know how it would go. Again, I've never been asked to be on it.
Yeah.
I've been told I was recommended because he said, I'm looking for funny female comics. And then another famous person said, have you not heard of Beth? And they later said, I recommended you. And I didn't say anything. I wasn't like, thank you so much. I was like, oh, okay.
So I should be flattered that you came on this show.
Absolutely.
That means, can I tell you this is great? Because I know I've heard this.
Again, I repeat, he never offered me to come on. You know what I mean? I'm not like, and I turned it down.
Right.
It was like I had a friend truly say, I texted him your name. And I just, to that friend who is friends with him, I am just like, okay. Like, again, it sounds, when you're doing these hypotheticals, it's like, oh, Beth, come on, you would. There's so many million. It's like, no.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, it's like the similar, like, you don't.
I mean, it's a very. I mean, I had a sort of a moral dilemma earlier this year that I ended up doing.
Okay.
So I did a commercial for a company that usually is not, well rated or deemed, but you know what? They were paying
Yeah.
a lot of fucking money, and I hadn't worked
Yeah.
in so long.
I understand.
And I was all like, who if I don't take this money, like, is that really gonna change how this company operates, or is that really gonna like,
Yeah.
So I was like, pay your mortgage.
100%.
Can we make
I
it-
hear that.
Can we
I
make the
hear that.
announcement right now? The new spokesperson for the Ku Klux Klan, Nico
No,
Santos.
it wasn't
everybody.
them.
Yeah,
It
thank
wasn't
you
them.
so
Do they
much.
do commercials now?
Thank you so much.
It's social media content.
Yeah.
So wait, how alpha have you been, buddy? By the way, I think that's very alpha to know that the more powerful you are, the more you can help others.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Take the money.
It really is like something that I've been thinking about lately with everything that's been going on. Because you think about all these scenarios of like, how am I going to like, protect the rights of my community and be an advocate for everybody? And it's like, well, like I'm a public figure. I'm not like an activist working in like a nonprofit organization. Like
there are professionals. To do
yeah,
it.
exactly. Like the way I can sort of like help is like through visibility and
Sure.
being out there and yeah, I can't be like, well, I'm gonna start this organization too.
Yeah.
That's not my
I hear you on that. There have been times too where I feel like, oh gosh, I'd like to be more helpful in this realm or that.
Yeah.
I go, well, I got to stick to stuff I know and
Exactly.
care about. It's not that I shouldn't say care because I care about those other things, but like you're saying, you can't do everything.
Yeah.
So you
Other
have to pick
people-
something that resonates with you.
Exactly.
I guess is what I'm saying.
I feel like other people are so much better and so much more articulate and eloquent about those solutions than I could ever be. So I'm just not gonna.
Look, I've also had the experience of, I remember the very funny director leaving me a voicemail that was like, we were doing, again, it was a company that, I can't say that they were like war crimes or something, but it wasn't great. And and the voicemail was like, let's take some money from people who have too much. That was his voicemail. He's like, call me back. We'll figure things out.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is we all got paid a lot and it never came out because they found out stuff about one of the people who was in it. So it was like reverse. You guys got fucked because you chose an actor that's famous, or a comedian. It was a comedian that's famous, but also you don't want to be associated with.
Wow. Oh my God. Yeah.
Nico, what's your alpha story?
Recently was this recently? No.
Last for the show is a few days ago.
Okay. Contract negotiations. As a queer brown person in Hollywood, we do not get paid the same as our straight white counterparts, or even just like white counterparts. White gays definitely get paid more than I do because a lot of the projects I've negotiated, we're pretty open about like what we make. I'm like,
I think that's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so I was on a project that would not pay me my quote per episode that I make, and I had to be like, I've done 6 seasons of network television, Crazy Rich Asians, Guardians of the Galaxy, nominated for 2 Critics' Choice Awards, and they're like, we don't care. And they were like, sign the contracts for 6 seasons, or your typical television contract. And I was like, okay, well, if you're not willing to pay me my quote, you get me for 1 year. And they're like, well, like you could, what if we did this and we get you for 5 years? You get me for 1 year. Well, what if we did this and we get you for 4 years? I'm like, I'm walking away. Just kidding. 1 year's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Good for you.
I just, at this point, and honestly, if this had happened like 3 years ago, I would have been like, oh, please, thank you so much for offering me the job.
I know.
And at some point, you just got to be like, there are more jobs.
Right.
Fuck these people who can't, like recognize my worth and my value. Yeah.
Good for you. How cool. That's so special to be able to do that and to stand up for yourself.
It's truly like the first time that I was like, no, we're not doing that.
Good.
And I think I've seen this in my friends who are like at your guys' levels, is like you say no to something and then something else happens that you wouldn't have been able to do if that hadn't happened. And
right. Because like next, I think like if they want me to continue with this one project, I already know about 2 other projects that are sort of courting me. And so it puts me in a really great position to renegotiate. Yeah. So I'm like, if you want me, buddy, there's two other productions that want me. So you're going to have to pay the sticker price.
Yeah. And you need to do that. It's more important now than ever, essentially because of everything that we struck for, because wow, it's slim pickings.
It really is.
And it's crumbs for people we used to be able to
No,
make a
and
living
even for
and be protected.
people like me, like, like I'm a pretty steady working actor, but like after the strikes and, obviously the fires affected stuff too, but like things sort of just shifted down. Like, so
Yeah.
only the super famous people are working. And then like people like me who are just like working actors who, marginally famous, whatever, like we weren't getting offered anything, or like I had to come in like audition with like all the other sort of semi-famous people, and it was like slim fucking pickings, and the people below us like just didn't work.
I know. So many people who got their first role. I was on the picket lines with them. It's like they just got their first big break. Unfortunately, it would be on like a streamer. Like they don't have a good reputation of paying as well. Some do that went from network to streamers, like something like, I'm trying to think of an example, maybe HBO to Max or something. Like there were some standards upheld, but it became like every other industry that it's experienced this, when cab drivers who had spent decades earning their medallion now are getting beat out on an early Uber ride that was like, oh my gosh, I can get to Uptown and for $1.50, and now it's $75 to get to Uptown. So it's like every other industry that goes through this. Netflix came in, was, it's widely known, all the Orange is the New Black stars didn't get paid well, but they were on Orange is the New Black. It's something that we've experienced as stand-ups and we've never unionized. Like, I'll do a bringer room, not knowing that that's not the same booker as the main room.
Right.
That will get you nowhere, that you're giving them so much money by bringing your 15 friends that maybe the DVD's not worth it.
Also,
Well, it's also like, I feel like the rate of pay for comics, like doing like a week at a club,
Hasn't gone up.
since the 80s, the
Yeah,
opening
And
act.
that's where you also have to fight for yourself
Yeah.
to say, and unfortunately, you have to have somebody looking out for you, or you have to get really good at understanding percentages, contracts, offers, tickets versus, gross box office return, all these things. Then you need to be double checking the work that's coming in.
I'm not good at that part yet because I do more acting than stand up. So it's like,
But it's like, why is my offer not better than last time? Or knowing how much you sold, or there's so many things that have changed.
because other comics I've talked to, I mean, granted, they are more regularly going on the road, but they're like, man, the money's so fucking good. I made like 30,000 like one night. I was like, you did? Like, is that even possible?
Nico, that's a private conversation.
Sorry.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Talk.
Well, it was Mexican pesos.
Can I tell you how I'm killing it though?
Yeah.
To wrap things up with my alpha story, I got a DM saying hello. I mean, like, I'm sorry you guys
And
are
you said,
struggling
"Fuck
right
you,
now.
bitch."
Hello, fuck you, bitch. And that was it.
Good job.
And she said a certain major network wants you to be on this dating show. Please contact us. And I was like, I was sad that I feel like I need to write back to this because I'm like, you could have emailed me or hit up my agent, but you DM me, so it makes me
That's
feel like
the
the bar
quickest
is
way
set
to get to
low.
people.
But it is real. The person's real, and they said it's like a thing that I know people at whatever. So I'm like, this is, you know what? Attitude or gratitude. We're gonna take this phone call. So, and I was like, how long do I wait? I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna. Do I pretend I didn't see it? Yeah. I called, and then I got a text from another person. I won't pull it up, but it was like, hey Taylor, are you single? Are you looking for love? And I'm like, what is this? What? And then they go, and I go, I wrote back something, and then she wrote back something, and I was like, can we talk about this on the phone, please? Like, what is this? So she talks to me as if I signed up on a website to submit myself. She's like, congratulations, like so-and-so at this network picked you to be a contestant on this new dating show. We're filming in London in 2 weeks because a lot of TV shows are just filming overseas now. A lot of game shows and TV shows and unscripted shows, whatever, because it's cheaper to fly the entire crew and cast there and pretend it's like in America than it is to just film here in California. That's how fucked everything is. And so many game shows are just secretly filmed in Australia and stuff.
And
anyway,
Ireland.
that Be Shazam show
And
was filmed in
Dubai.
Ireland. Oh, really?
I was there they were doing Love Island there.
Wow.
Pretty sure that's what he said.
It's a very hot island.
The driver, yeah.
So then I talked to this woman on the phone, and she's like, it's a dating show, and do you want to do it? It films on these days. And I was like, what? And like, what does it pay? And she's like, oh, it's just, there's a stipend, $250 to $500 a day. And it's 3 days. And I was like,
How do I get the 500?
Yeah.
right. It's like, what is that? And then,
And do you pay
And-
for my airfare, hotel?
I know. I
Like,
was gonna say, and why are you doing this on?
and the
Congratulations on a millionaire matchmaker.
well, I'm like, what? Can you tell me? What is this? What is the show? Like what? Like I know it's on the
They're
big
like, print out your plane ticket. You get to LAX, and they're like, this is fake. You just spent $80 on
this
the
is
Uber
a
ride to
Bed Bath &
LAX.
Beyond coupon. What
And
is-
then,
what is
and this is when Matt Rife comes out and he's like, "You got punked."
Well, right. Like I said to her, I was like, I did America's Got Talent, and I'm just like, I can't put myself in a thing where you're asking me, and I was like, I'm grateful to be asked to be.
Yeah.
I get that there is casting involved. Unfortunately, we know people who have been on on these Love Island type shows who are selling out comedy clubs now. So
Unfortunately,
I'm trying to see the business angle here, and I was like, I don't think emotionally. Is this can I be humiliated? Like, what is the subject?
Right.
I said, is this like The Bachelor? And then she got snippy with me. Is that the word?
Yeah.
She goes, it's more like The Bachelorette because it's men vying for a woman. And I was about to punch her on the phone. I'm just like, that's what I meant. That's essentially what I meant.
It's the same concept.
That's the same thing.
Just flipped around.
Sorry, Betty. It's
oh
okay, Betty.
God,
It's
Betty's
okay,
like,
Betty.
"Would you ever really hit a woman?"
But she wouldn't give me any details. I was like, lady, you want me to just sign up and agree to go to England to be on a dating show and sign a contract and not know I'm vying for love? I don't know who that is. I don't know what the punchline of the show is.
Right.
I don't know what it is. And she was like mad at me, and I was like, can you please have someone from the network contact me if you really want me? And like I'm and then they never contacted me. But then I called my friend at the network and they apologized because they were like embarrassed that the woman treated me like that. But
Good.
But like I was like, so part of me is like, should I have done? If I was killing it, it'd be funny just to do it for the joke of it, just like what a funny life experience. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I just don't need to risk being embarrassed.
Well, it's just also
That's
just
the
you
risk
don't
of any
you don't wanna do
reality
it.
show.
Yeah.
I mean, like whether it's beneficial or not to your career, it's like you don't want to do it. So
But
I mean,
I did the right thing for me, and I didn't. I
Yeah.
wasn't desperate, you know.
Yeah.
well, I feel like a lot of people in our industry, we're just people pleasers, and we have to get to a point where, you just have to be able to say no, or like know that something is. And I don't mean this, in a snooty way, but like some things are sort of you're beyond that or are beneath you, and you just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But it did take me a minute to be able to be like, yeah, I'm sort
course.
of past that now.
Yeah,
shouldn't do
I
it
think
again.
too. It's like there's a difference between earning your place, and not just saying, "Well, I should be here,"
Right.
and thinking and knowing what your worth is.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to just be. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we came up as stand-ups.
Yeah.
I've quite literally shown up to a man's house and been like, "Is this the show?" And he's like, "Yeah, come on in." And it was like him on a couch for 4 friends, and I'm like, "How did I get here?" And it's because I said yes to a show. You know what I mean? So it ended up being kind of fun. But the point is, I don't believe I got paid. And we're used to saying yes because you want
Yeah.
stage time. And yes, I'll be there. And yes, yes, yes.
And everything could lead to a thing attitude.
Yeah.
At some point.
I said yes to a radio interview back when I was like sort of coming up in stand up in SF, and turned out the radio station was sort of like this pirate like radio station, like it was like
no.
in some sort of shack.
Oh,
And I was
no.
like, what the fuck's going on? And I took off. I told my manager at Dior, I was like, I can't come in because I'm gonna be on the radio. And then I showed up, I was like, oh fuck.
Ah,
And then I got fired.
dang it.
But then you were in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Then I did a Marvel movie.
Very cool.
Can I tell you guys something? I'm so grateful you came here. I feel like we changed the world. We made
really
people laugh. We made people think. We
We
taught
talked a lot
them-
of comedy shop.
We
I
taught
could talk
them-
about all that stuff for a long time because it is always, you don't get, when you're all separate, like you don't get to see each other that often. Like if you're on the road headlining or something, that's why sometimes a festival is cool because you get to see other comics perform for longer, whereas
Yeah.
around LA, you just see like 15 minutes, 12 minutes.
Can I tell
I
you
just can't do the road anymore.
Can I
That's
tell you what
why.
just happened? What's happening is I'm trying to wrap this up, and you guys
Oh.
are cock blocking my wrap.
I'm sorry.
I actually knew you were. To be
We
honest.
just enjoy your company.
I actually knew you were trying to wrap up.
Let me tell you one more story about how I was
that's
alpha.
some sociopath behavior. This is why you're a superstar. You're gonna keep becoming more of a superstar. It's because you have that sociopath gene in you.
What if it's just that I don't
You
want to
see-
stop hanging out?
You see me dying inside, recognizing that there's
No.
would you have another
I have
taping?
empathy.
I don't think you do, but this is why you're a star, baby. Because you see me
I'm
looking at we
not.
went overtime. You see the producer giving me dirty looks freaking out. We have superstars.
Can you edit out the first half hour?
Yeah.
The whole show is going to be this moment of me scolding you for, and then you were complicit.
Yeah. We want to spend time with you.
We're trying to
No,
stay.
I adore you guys. Thank you for being here. Do you want to plug anything? This will probably come out like 3 months. Dude, is there anything?
Are you
wanna-
serious?
It may be a couple months from now, honestly.
Why? Are you that
well,
backlogged? You're
yeah,
going to
we-
be talking about the election in May?
No, like the
We'll be in camps by
Oh,
then.
yeah, I was going to say, how are we going to listen?
Fuck.
the people. President Buttigieg is cleaning up everything.
I love that.
Here in
Well, I guess
I wish we had even had a choice. Anyway, sorry.
I guess come
Tubi.com.
watch me in whatever show I'm in 3 months.
Yeah, but
What's the Tubi show?
Let's name all your shows for fun.
Right
Where
now?
is Superstore?
You can watch Superstore on Hulu or Peacock.
Hulu or
All
Peacock?
6 seasons.
Wonderful.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Crazy Rich Asians is on HBO and
This
Max.
is too much, honestly.
And,
HBO Max. Okay.
This is you being rude.
I enjoyed
And
that.
my Z Suite premiering on
Yay!
TV tomorrow, actually.
A lot. 2 months
Congratulations.
ago.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
premiered 2 months ago.
So catch
Watch
up
it
on
binge it.
Z
Tubi
Suite.
Binge
because,
it.
yeah, the Z
Binge-
Suite with Lauren Graham.
Are you going to Super Bowl commercial? Are they going to plug in
They
the
are
Super
going
Bowl?
to do a Super Bowl spot.
That's so major.
Or Z Suite on Tubi
Mm-hmm.
because I've seen it pop up. Is that just something on a Roku? I know I sound old,
No, it's,
but
it's another streaming service, but it's free.
what?
It has ads.
You know, Tubi is like the
it's free.
biggest. It's legit like one of the low
Yeah.
key. It's bigger than Peacock. It's
It
bigger
is.
than.
Wow. So if I
It's like-
basically add Tubi to my Roku, I can click it and watch it.
Yeah, so it's basically like
That's cool.
As far as viewers, Netflix, YouTube, Tubi.
I wish that I was on Rutherford Falls, and I wish that we had come out after the Olympics because then everybody had Peacock. But when we came out, it was like people were like, "I don't know, Peacock. I don't want to pay $4.99."
Beth, you're flattering me so much, but we've been trying to wrap it up.
Okay,
for about an
I'm on
hour
tour
here.
right now. I'm probably in your city. Oh my God! But search BethStelling.com for my tour dates, and I'll see you there in
And
Casper,
Netflix,
Wyoming.
Netflix, and Matt.
Oh yeah, my special is still on Netflix. It's called If You Didn't Want Me Then. I have a half hour there as well. On Max, I have a HBO special called Girl Daddy. And I'm sure the Comedy Central half hour is somewhere, but who cares?
Dude, I care. You're so special. Like I adore
And
both
you're showing
of you.
Peacock.
And Peacock,
And-
Rutherford Falls, a great show that
Yes.
really I wish they gave a run on regular NBC.
I agree.
It was
Gonna-
such a good show.
This is gonna bring that show back. I promise you.
Hey, everybody, please petition.
Yeah.
I swear on producer
President
Josh's
Buttigieg.
life.
Write your letter.
I swear on producer Josh's life that Rutherford Falls is going to be a hit again because of.
Please make this happen.
I don't know how this works, but it's not my problem. Thank you guys. I love you both and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy
4th of July.
Yeah. Happy Hanukkah.
Thanks, you guys.
Can I have the dog?